Hi, welcome to Stacy Create Stuff. We are going to be using the Cricut Design Space and the Cricut Explorer to create the Cottontail Cutie. Let's get started. We're going to start by using the Cottontail Cutie, and we're going to go to Upload Image and choose the Upload Image button, and then I'm going to browse my files to find the right one. That's not it. Almost. There we go, Cottontail Cutie. So go ahead and open that one. And if you want, you can add some tags. I usually do, but I'm not this time, and hit Save. And then choose the Cottontail Cutie and go to Insert Image. And you now are back on your canvas. And the image is pretty big, so I'm going to go down here and click on the minus button to make the screen real estate a little bit smaller, and then I can more easily resize the image. So now I'm going to go to Shapes and click on Square. This brings in, of course, a square, but it's not the right size, so I'm going to unlock the dimensions so that I can more easily change both the height and the width to different dimensions. So I'm going to make the width 5 inches and the height 7 inches. So this would be if I was placing the Cottontail Cutie design onto something where the finished size is 5 by 7. So now that I have that, I'm going to send that to the back so that when I go to move the design over, it will be on top of the rectangle. So now I drag it over, and I can use the resize button and drag to see that the Cottontail Cutie fits within the 5 by 7 space. Now that I have that sized properly, I can go ahead and hide the square or rectangle by just clicking on the eyeball, and that hides it. So now our Cottontail Cutie is ready to make. Let's see what happens. After a few seconds of coming in here, we can see that we have 4 mats. And the first mat being the white for the cottontail. The second mat is the darker brown with the 2 bunny feet. The third mat is the little bunny butt. And the fourth mat is all the pink. Now, these are actually 4 pieces. So cottontail is 1 piece. Cutie is another piece. And of course, you can rearrange these on the mat. And the feet are, each foot is a piece. So the ovals are already spaced exactly how they'll be on the final foot. All right, we're going to cancel out of that one, and I'm going to show you some other options for how you can cut this piece out. So let's say that you were concerned that all of the pieces would be in the exact right position, that you didn't want to have to worry about placing each foot individually and so forth. So first you need to ungroup the entire piece because it comes in as a group, and now each piece is individual. So you will select all of the pink pieces, and you can do that on a Mac by holding the Command button and clicking on each pink piece. On a PC, it is Control and clicking on each piece. Once you have the pieces selected in that particular color group, then you click on Attach. And now, when you make it, you will see we still have the bunny tail, but the feet are now acting as 1 piece because they're attached, so they are spaced perfectly for your project. And you can see on the pink that the entire piece, the cottontail, the cutie, and the little inner parts of the feet are all 1 piece, ready for you to place on top of the thing. Don't worry that you're not seeing the pink on the feet here. It's just the way that the layers were situated. They're all there. So all I did was just select the attached part and then detach it. Another option is to cut all 4 different colors on a single mat. And to do this, I've selected the entire piece and changed so that they all have the same color. And in this case, I just chose purple. And now when you hit make it, everything's on one mat. But of course, you're not using one single color. You have to separate out the different pieces and place them so that on your mat, you will put 4 pieces, small pieces of the appropriate colors in the right spots. So right now I'm moving all of the pink pieces, pink from the original coloring, and I placed that at about the 5-inch mark. And now I'm moving over the feet for the dark brown, and I'm going to put those past the 7-inch mark over there, and that's probably a pretty good place for the white tail. So I will show you what that would look like on my finished mat before I would go to cut it. Now that I have all the pieces cut, I'm going to go ahead and weed from the cardstock and papers that I have used for this. We'll start with the bunny butt, and I'm just pulling off the washi tape there. I'm just pulling off the extra pieces. Now this, I think I need a new blade in my machine, so I'm going to go ahead and carefully separate that. So there's our little bunny butt. And our bunny feet. Bunny tail. And then on the pink, which had quite a number of pieces, I had to go back and recut the O, the second O in the word cotton, because it didn't cut all the way through, and that poor little O went for a ride while the rest of the word was cut. So I did go back and cut that one over there. All right, let me go ahead and get those middle pieces out of the words. This is the O that I need to replace, so we'll just take off that whole O. Right there. We don't need that. Oops, my eye disappeared. So it's still in the paper. So let me put that back in place. Looks good. I'm going to use a background piece of paper cut to 6 inches by 7 inches. In the original planning, I was going to do 5 by 7, but ultimately I really didn't like those proportions, so I decided to make the paper a little bit wider. Not a problem for what I've already cut, because this is slightly bigger than what I planned for, and it still works out perfectly. Now I cut everything out of cardstock or paper, and I'm going to start by layering our little bunny butt. And I'm going to go ahead and peel off the tail and the feet. I'm going to leave the pink on for a moment. Get those feet off there. There we go. because I don't really want to transfer letter by letter, and I have a way to make that pretty easy. All right, so there's my little bunny feet and the little bunny tail. So I just have to make sure that on my background there's going to be enough room for Cottontail and Cutie to be down here. So the tail will be easy, and I can put that on really at the end. So I'm going to just go ahead and move our little bunny butt off for a moment and take a look at the things that we have here in the pink. So I am using Vinyl Ease paper tape, paper transfer tape. It is very low stick, and I'm going to go ahead and tear off a piece. It's essentially like a very low tack masking tape. It works great with vinyl, but it also works really well with paper. So, oops, don't lose my bunny tail. I'm gonna flip that over and then just carefully pull away my mat. A couple little bunny toes that are not sticking. There we go. And if there's any parts, like, I'll just go back and use my scraper there. Again, it's sometimes easier to flip the mat over. Perfect. And great, we got it all. Peel that off. All right. Now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and cut apart the different pieces. So I'm bringing up my bunny feet. I'm going to go ahead and use Fabri-Tac, which is my go-to glue for paper crafting. It's got a nice strong bond, and it is, sorry about that, acetone based. Just need a little dab on each of those. Perfect. All right, now we can line that up again. Get you more in screen here. There we go. One bunny foot down. Let's go ahead and do the other. Since the glue is a stronger bond than the tape, that's why the feet aren't sticking. All right, we've got two bunny feet over here that are done. Bring my background back in. And sort of line everything up. Going to look pretty good right there, so I'm just going to barely lay that down. It's not really stuck to the paper at the moment. And that's more so that I can make sure that I have everything else in place. So again, the actual little bunny tail will be easy to place at the end. I want to make sure there's enough room for all the words. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on Cutie here. Make sure I have it going the right way. And of course I'll be able to adjust because I have not glued down the feet yet. But that looks pretty good. Oops. Might not have gotten, oh, there we did. Oops, the E did not quite stick. That's all right. It has enough glue. I can come back in and get it in place. All right, let's go ahead and put on cottontail. Again, I'm going to put glue on the back of all of that. Right. I like to put my fingers on the back here so that I can use those as a positioning, and then I match up my thumbs on top of those, and that's the way I can get a pretty good sense of where it's centered. Take a few seconds for the glue to really dry. So while the glue is setting up there, I'm going to go ahead and glue my little bunny bottom. And my bunny feet. By the way, the feet are identical, so there isn't a left foot and a right foot. So you don't have to worry about mixing them up. There we go. All right, let's see if... Perfect. All right, time to put the bunny tail on. I did use a textured white paper for this, so. And there's really no right or wrong way for the cottontail, wherever you want it to go. And there we go. A cottontail cutie ready for Easter.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check the description below for links and more information. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Keep crafting!